Mordecai matters because it's eroding away at an alarming rate, and if something isn't done soon, it's likely to be gone forever. And if it disappears, the effects will be far-reaching.
The Spartina grasses on Mordecai Island, when they break down each winter, that decomposition of that organic matter is the beginning of the food chain. That gets into the surrounding waters and supports microorganisms, and from there it kind of just goes up the food chain. When you have shallow water surrounding an island like this, you have eelgrass and macroalgae, and that provides habitat for small critters, little amphipods and shrimp, etc. And then you just go on from there. Sampling at an island like this, the number of finfish you can catch in the warm water or warm season is probably 15, 20, 30 different species of finfish, many of them recreationally and commercially important, like young sea bass, winter flounder especially in the eelgrass bed surrounding it. And then from there, you're starting to support the birds. All our migrating wading birds like the egrets and the herons, raptors such as the ospreys and northern harriers in the wintertime. So that kind of really just grows out from really the beginning of the salt marsh and the Spartina grass, and goes up from there, from finfish into the wading birds and so forth. So it really does support quite a bit through that kind of food chain approach.
Mordecai also helps to protect a significant amount of Beach Haven's bayfront.
You come down here in the winter sometime and watch that west wind blow, you will see what it protects. Those waves just break all week long on a big blow. If you go up and down the island, many places they have to raise their boats out of the water because they don't have protection like Mordecai. It's also a safe haven for paddle boarders, sailors, kayakers. It's a great spot.
Activities like these are vital to not just the economy of Beach Haven, but Long Beach Island as a whole.
Oh, some evenings we'll find ourselves, paddling just to get away from it all, from the day's work. And even though that's what we did all day, we find it, a nice relief. And evenings can be so incredible, with the sun going down and the rays of light coming across the bay, and the, calm water formed, not only by Mordecai Island, but around Mordecai Island. And the colors are up, the greens and the big, reeds, etc. The birds protesting, us being there, but, it's a bird, it's a song, it's very, very nice. I don't think any of us get tired of it. So it's super important to us as a business, having that area, that protected spot, caused by the island being there in the bay.
Every year, however, the protection Mordecai affords outdoor enthusiasts, property owners, and wildlife becomes less and less as Mordecai continues to erode away.
And that's caused by a number of things, certainly storms, certainly boat waves, and that basically breaks down the system that was in place many years ago. The island had its own system without the external influences of man, so it repaired itself. And it didn't have challenges like nutrients, lack of oxygen in the water, the death of different plants and vegetation. So what we're doing is repairing the patient, and we're taking it in different steps.
One of the first steps taken was the Geotube project, which was started at the south end of Mordecai in 2010.
The Geotube project intended to slow down the waves and build material up behind the waves so that it could repair the island back to its original form, based on the 1977 Tightline maps. And there's indication that it is building material behind. It's going to be a number of years before it finally builds up to a full island. They've already grown a seaweed called rack that actually absorbs a lot of the energy, and it gobbles up some different nutrients, and is a good home for different the lowest chains of life on that barrier. We're also working with Reclaim the Bay to establish a calcium-based surface on the geotube so that we can grow oysters, so that in the long term the geotube becomes what they call a living breakwater, where it's actually not only slowing down the waves, but it's also becoming a part of the original island.
The island itself provides us a habitat that we can do some experiments with relative to living shorelines and the other use for shellfish, and in many settings that's the main use for shellfish, is to be able to stabilize shorelines. The clams can stabilize the sea floor because they live down in the sea floor. And in natural history, once a clam bed dies after thousands and thousands of years, then oysters can sit on the old clam shells, and then you build an oyster reef. And the oyster reef, since it's out of the water, intertidal, it will absorb the energy, the wave energy that's coming on shore to the island. Another aspect, not so much the shellfish we grow, but there are ribbed mussels that actually grow into the side of the marsh. So you have the clams in the bottom, you've got the intertidal that are the oysters, and then the ribbed mussels, which actually grow into the sides of the marsh and then really stabilize it almost like a curb would on the side of a road. So all of Mother Nature is working together to stabilize, our planet, and sometimes we don't take very good care of her and let her do what she wants to do. We tend to get in the way. So that's kind of our perspective, is to help Mother Nature do what she does best, and she'll take care of us, and then we can take care of our clams and oysters. So it's just fun to have a relationship with an organization like Mordecai in a setting like this, where we can grow our clams and our oysters, but then also help out the whole habitat.
Educating the public about the importance of Mordecai and other salt marsh islands like it is one of Mordecai Land Trust's key objectives.
If you can teach people the importance of an island, like Mordecai, you can also teach them about all the islands in the bay. And you can teach them how that impacts the bay itself, and beyond that, the whole coastline. And it just keeps going on and on. But they have to learn that awareness. We love to talk to people about the island. We always welcome volunteers, and we've got lots of things going on. Of course, we like donations, but donations can be not only monetary, but time and energy too, and that's what we're all about. Our mission is prolong, preserve, protect, and that's what we do.